Henry, morning to you.
Good morning.
Let's start with your thoughts on this latest move from Virgin.
Well, it's a devastating piece of news, and of course follows very quickly on from British Airways' announcement last week. And I think it really bears out what the warnings have been for several months now, that because people are largely unable to fly because of the COVID-19 restrictions, this is having a very serious impact on the aviation industry and travel, and a community like Crawley, which is so heavily reliant on that sector of the economy, of course, is being impacted very seriously as well.
Give us an idea of what it actually means for the local area.
Well, as you said in that report, the trouble when a community is very reliant on a particular sector is that if there are significant job losses, if there is a significant drop in business, then it has an impact throughout the local economy, even those people who are perhaps not directly employed through the aviation sector. So what I've been calling for in Parliament for several months, and will continue to later on today, is a particular support package for the aviation and travel sectors. The government have been unveiling unprecedented levels of support for the economy generally. But we are an island trading nation. We are a global nation. We very much rely on our aviation sector to support the rest of the UK economy, not just the Crawley and Gatwick economies, and otherwise viable companies that actually were very successful before this pandemic really need support just to bridge to get over this initial period, so that when the economy does pick up, when we are able to travel again, these, as I say, otherwise strong and viable companies can pick up as best as possible, so that the impact of COVID-19 doesn't just have an effect on the thousands of people who tragically have lost their lives, but also doesn't wreak havoc amongst the health and wider wealth of our country
Let,
and our economy.
let's put some meat on the bones of what you mean by particular support. Obviously, money in the form of a loan or what?
Well, I think it's going to be support that's individual compared to which company or sector you're looking at. So the needs of Gatwick Airport, for example, are going to be very different from the needs of British Airways, and different again from the needs of Virgin Atlantic and others. And as I said, there has been unprecedented support through, for example, the coronavirus job retention scheme. But this is a sector that was immediately impacted and will probably be one of the slowest to recover, because confidence will only come back gradually. So if it is in the form of loans to some parts of the sector, that has to, of course, be on the condition that those loans will be paid back to the taxpayer. And that's why I'm saying that, these are otherwise, in normal times, viable, strong companies. And if they're allowed to survive, then I think any loans paid out by the taxpayer, there is a high degree of confidence they will be paid back. And let's not forget, this isn't just about sort of companies and their balance sheets. This is about employees. This is about people who work in the industry, whose families rely on that industry. And that's really where the targeted support needs to be.
Henry,